templates, and I will tell you about one JavaScript framework. It is hard to tell from the title what it does, so I'll show you some examples. And it's probably someone of you seen my talk at JS Congress. It's not the same. It's not the copy-paste, it's the extended cut. There will be several improvements. So I decided to start from the example, from the science part. To the fun part. Probably it looks a bit small, but if I zoom in, the animation is not well. So this framework is about the interfaces like that, the node interfaces. It helps you to build this stuff. This sketch is probably processing JS. It's a particle system which changes color every 500 milliseconds. What I can do, I can, for example, add some node. And make this random generator, change the red part of the color when I click the stuff. But it's probably not very interesting. I also can do this, sorry, this stuff. So they start to be green. Also I may change the shapes of the particles. So it gets like experimental. The one cool thing in this library probably is that it uses reactive streams to send the values. You are not obliged to use them, but you may. So for example, we will implement some magic node which sends the value which came in a second later. This is in milliseconds. And for example, we add this magic node. Sorry, it's below, and you'll see this pause was like 1 second later. But probably it's also not that very interesting. I will skip this. This one could be more interesting. What it does, it sends click events from the document and converts them into colors with different green values. We will love this. Add our magic. Sorry, I haven't commented this. Sometimes it happens. Yeah. Okay. Then we take. We just connect it to the color inlet, and here when I click the document, the new particles emit, and it depends on the X position of my click how bright they are. Like, are they more purple on the left side or more white on the right side, or something in between? So actually that's it with the example. Now some pictures. So you've seen the interface. It's just one of the styles. There are a lot of different styles. Also you may generate everything, actually including sound or graphics. For example, probably some of you know we have this JetBrains logo with the beams. So at some point we experimented with these beams, just choosing the palette, the shape, and different stuff. So it allows to generate everything. There are examples. This framework provides a lot of visual styles. So probably you like it minimal, you like it different ways, like in Blender, shader editor, or something. You may do it. The best part of this framework, it has no bad parts. It's a lightweight, have a very simple API. It can render both HTML and SVG. In HTML it's not so beautiful, but it works good. It may import and export the whole structure in JSON, built using functional programming principles, supports any asynchronous stuff, reactive streams, easy to create everything, and that's it. These are notes. Okay, this is just the quick review on the API. Oh. Okay, yeah. This way you create patches, you add nodes, you add like inputs, and make them receive something, anything, for example, an image. You may connect the outputs to the inputs from the code. You may send some data later. Very easy to describe a new node. You've seen that, like in the example. You describe inputs, outputs, and the function which converts input data into the output data. Also with streams. Also with is the renderer for the node. So this way you describe how it renders in SVG, for example. Also very easy. It's now used by JetBrains in public. We wrote a blog post yesterday, and we may generate like wallpapers or something. You may tune everything you want if you follow this link. For example, you may have this wallpaper with Jacon. Yeah. And actually that's it. And try to do that. Any questions, maybe?
So what kind of audience, what kind of people are using that?
Mostly it's in the middle between designers and programmers, because you may generate everything, like if you want some generative art, for example, or music, not only pictures, you may use it to build everything.
Have you seen any example project that's like stuff that someone has done?
Like with this kind of interfaces?
Uh-huh.
Yes, of course. There is a project with 20 years history, probably. It's called Pure Data. It's the sound generation product, so you build the sound with the nodes you use some random stuff, random generators to get some music, and actually you may hear it. And also you may use it for visualizations, different kinds of like someone projects 3D models on the buildings, that stuff probably you've seen it.
So that was used for an art installation somewhere. For
Yeah,
or
yeah,
a-
exactly.
a gallery or-
A lot of times, yeah.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
So it's possible to use it also for, as example, procedural textures for WebGL or something.
If you prepare these textures, not in the probably in the runtime, but yes, of course.
So for
Yeah.
additional signal processing works, so there's no big latency or something?
If you not making this latency yourself, like saying I want to delay it, no.
Okay.
It's okay.
Is there any plan for generating images instead of SVG and HTML?
No, this is the image actually.
Big map, so.
Yeah, yeah. It uses several canvases and draws them and then converts to the byte, to the blob actually, and you may save this
But
as an
this is
image.
processing an image. Is it possible to generate that beams just directly to the image?
Yes, yes. For example, this if you follow this link, there is a button save image, and you save everything like this PNG.
But is it possible to use it like real time?
Yeah, yeah, of course. So, like in the example. Any more questions? Oh.
So performance-wise, what were your biggest issues that you had?
If you run it just now, probably if you follow this link, it will generate. If you are okay with it, I will try to launch it just here. Yeah. So it takes time.
So
For
you're
example,
rendering
to
in worker?
generate this stuff.
So do you
I
use
don't know.
workers? Or
In the
no?
worker?
No, not that much. So.
You study production accelerator.
Yeah. Okay. Let's start with that.
The spinning
Yeah,
animation is
so
working, so
you may click the band and it renders. It takes quite a bit. It could be improved. of
So
course.
if you compare it to something like Max, what's the performance difference?
It's JavaScript, so probably it's a bit slower than everything on the desktop. Yeah, for this time. And there was almost no optimizations there for the moment. Of course, I went in. Yeah. But it works on small screens, for example, with processing quite fast, not interrupting like render animation frame or something. That's it. Thank you.
Alright, the next speaker, Nivi.